Hello everyone, and welcome to another game of World of Warships. Today's replay is from MushJr and he is in the Des Moines, a tier 10 US cruiser. He is on the map the Atlantic in a 3-point domination game. There's 4 destroyers around, there is plenty of freighters, not too many battleships, which is nice if you're in a cruiser, and there is no carrier. Now he is getting detected here, so he immediately pops radar, and there you go, he's found the Shimmer castle. Now unfortunately, this island is kind of stopping him from shooting the Shimmer, but maybe a teammate can make use of that. Now he is sailing behind this island, because he wants to get undetected. And that works, so he is in a nice spot where he can, well, I mean, he can shoot the booster. And nobody can see him. Of course, the problem is he can't actually engage the Shimmer castle, but maybe some teammates can do that for him. And it looks like the Shimmer ate the top, and now he's probably getting finished by the friendly Shimmer castles, which would be a pretty decent start to a game. Now, meanwhile, at the A cap, it's not looking so good. That gearing, what this gearing needs to do is run away. Like, he's requesting help, but like, there is a Des Moines down there, so oh yeah, gearing. Like, if you are in a destroyer, taking caps early is, well, it can be a pretty good idea still, even if you're facing a lot of radar, but you have to play it right. You can't just sit there if the radar is spotted coming for you. You have to really keep an eye on where the radar is, where it possibly could be. You have to be in a position that you can easily run away. Like, playing against radar takes a lot of planning and a lot of map awareness. And sitting there and calling for help and then just getting yourself raided and sunk is not the way to go. Now, meanwhile, we have a Worcester here who is sailing in completely broadside in the open in a cap. I'm not exactly sure what his plan is, but he's actually been pretty lucky because there are so many overpens and there only has been one citadel. This Worcester could have been sunk by now. If our Des Moines here would get just a little bit more luck. And there we go, finally the citadels come rolling in. So, that was the expected outcome, although it took a little bit longer than what might have expected. So, friendly destroyer here is safe, he can cap. We have another destroyer who is hunting a conqueror over there, I suppose. And so far so good. The lightning seems to be taking the center without much issue. Now, there is a Des Moines here, but the Des Moines might not even cover this whole cap. And even if he does, he probably can't shoot behind this island, and there isn't much other ships that could engage this lightning. So yeah, it's a nice start. The friendlies are 2 ships ahead. Now they have 2 control points. Now they just need to make sure that they aren't throwing away their advantage. Like, there's a lot of enemies down there, so the friendly ships have to be careful that they aren't just YOLOing in there. And there isn't much enemies up here in the north, so they should probably try to quickly sink that conqueror, which seems to be working, considering that this conqueror just got topped. And then they can focus down towards the south. So, the friendlies managed to throw away their ship advantage, by the way. I'm not sure how this Shimmer suicided over there. Maybe he was so, I don't know. Maybe the good early start of the friendlies went to his head and he was like, yeah, why not? Anyway. Now the friendlies can hunt down this Des Moines, and hopefully this Yamato. Like, the enemy team is still not in the best position, so the friendlies have a chance to take the score back towards their side. The friendlies have the caps, so they are fine. They don't have to do anything too rush. They might want to focus on the enemies that are a little bit out of position here. And then just farm the enemy team when it's forced to push in. Now, we have a Des Moines here who decides that broadside is the way to go. And let's just face it, broadside is never the way to go. So that works. Now there is a convenient smokescreen here being laid down by the Chimakaze, so the Des Moines might just go into that smokescreen and then farm himself a Yamato. Currently nobody seems to be interested in the Des Moines. Yamato's guns are not even pointing this way, so he can take his time here. But I mean, this Yamato will get annoyed about getting spammed by a Des Moines. And there it is, a nice, juicy, cozy smokescreen to just sit in and farm. And well, there are some torps coming, so I assume there is a destroyer around.
Torpedoes, direct front.
And there are some more torps coming. That's a little bit more problematic because I'm afraid he'll take one. Now that was a huge chunk of his health though. But I mean, he's still floating, he's still inside his smokescreen here. So the one destroyer we're missing is a gearing that seems to be running around somewhere around here. That's, I guess, good to know. Now the Yamato's guns are already pointing this way. It could be that he's engaging the Republic. It could also be that he's just waiting for the smokescreen to disperse. Unfortunately, the smokescreen will only last 10 more seconds. Now, this is the point where he goes to... well, he decides to go forward again, because you wanna be moving when the smokescreen disperses and not just be sitting there still and being an easy target. And there you go. The Yamato immediately switched towards him when he was spotted. The shells are on the way. So he is going to dodge here, and that works. So it looks like the Yamato has lost interest and decided that one failure was enough of him. Not that he is getting another salvo off here. But yeah, so far so good. So the friendlies are basically holding position here and defending their caps instead of just blindly rushing in. And that's good news. Now the gearing has been spotted. It looks like a Henry is trying to hunt down this gearing, although he has to be careful because he might be showing broadside to two cruisers right now. Maybe not as bad as showing broadside to a battleship, but could still end in a lot of hurt. And if he doesn't have the tools like Hydro with him, then he is risking a lot of torps from the gearing, if he isn't careful. Now meanwhile our Des Moines is just pushing forward and engaging this Henry. And well, it looks like there's a broadside Hindenburg, so back to armor piercing it is. And wait, the Henry is also going broadside. Now the Henry is going broadside because he's trying to dodge torps, so makes a certain amount of sense. Won't save him from getting citadel by the Des Moines though.
Enemy cruisers sunk.
And well, this Hindenburg seems to be in retreat. So time for some more explosive, I guess. There is an Alsace coming this way as well, and this is not the ideal situation you wanna be in a Des Moines. Now we have a half-health Des Moines against a pretty full-health Alsace, and this Hindenburg there. Now there is the Henry to help out. Chimakaze might help out with torps, but the friendly Republic and the Worcester are basically holding the other flank. So our Des Moines here might just be taking the brunt of the assault. Well, you would think so at least, but only one ship is aiming at him, so I guess they are unconcerned about getting pushed by Des Moines. Now that Henry has managed to get close enough to the gearing to get himself torped, it's like if you're going destroyer hunting, then you need the tools to actually do that. Like if this guy didn't have Hydro ready, there probably wasn't much point in trying to go for that gearing. So, well, we have arrived at another broadside here again. The Hindenburg just decides. Well, I mean, the Hindenburg is angling against the Republic, against the one battleship there is. So he's a bit forgiven for showing that much broadside, I guess. He probably is... well, I mean, he's angling a little bit better now again, I think. Depends on the Republic here. But, anyway... it looks like this Hindenburg is going down. Now Hindenburg has 6 kilometer torps and we've just sailed into 6 kilometers, so that's something to be aware of. So the Des Moines is turning slightly away here. Now he has to be careful because he also doesn't want to expose his broadside to an Alsace. That seems like it might hurt too. So it's a bit of a bad situation. So he's taking more the risk with the torps. Because I think getting citadel by that Alsace is a lot more likely than getting torped by this Hindenburg. Now, there is also something to keep in mind. If you are showing your nose like this, you aren't necessarily protected if the enemy can overmatch your nose, but you are presenting a very small target. Like, he needs very good dispersion to hit a lot of shells, because the shells might just drop left and right from you. And basically, that's what he's going for here. So the Alsace is not blessed with a very good dispersion, and it looks like our Des Moines might be winning this fight. Now, in a fight like this, my money is on the Alsace usually, because the Alsace, you'd expect the Alsace to utterly wreck this Des Moines with one salvo. But it looks like so far this hasn't happened. And look at that, there are some orbs he's also dodging here. Now, there isn't a lot of friendly help. It's currently 2 versus 4, by the way. The friendly team managed to get themselves utterly obliterated. And, well, it's slow. The Alsace is going down, but it's really slow. There is another salvo coming in, and it looks like all the Alsace ever managed was overpens, which is incredibly lucky for the Des Moines. Also, by the way, the Des Moines lost 1 front turret permanently, right? This is, if you're facing the enemy with your bow, that's not very helpful. So yeah, the Des Moines' firepower has been drastically reduced. Now we've pulled this back to a 2 versus 2. The friendlies do have the cap advantage. Now the enemy team still has a destroyer. And that gearing could, for example, be on its way to take C. The enemy has more caps, but they don't have more points. And it's only 6 points left. So, and the friendly team has 2 raiders. Not sure who exactly is favored here. Maybe the friendlies. It depends if the gearing can get a few nice hits in here. But you know, the enemy Des Moines just decides, you know what? This is working way too well, let's just go broadside. Now, you know, having 2 front turrets would be really convenient right about now, but and there is a fire and immediately the damage gone. If you are so low on health, you really can't afford to let a single fire burn. You gotta take the risk and extinguish it immediately. So if he gets set on fire again, he's doomed anyway. Well, I mean, maybe not, he's getting a heal ready.
Torpedoes astern.
Now there are, well, looks like there are some torps here coming from behind. That gearing's best move would have probably been to cap C and then Des Moines go over there. Like, you see, points-wise, the enemy team is catching up, and if they had just gotten the C cap, that might have helped, but you know, Des Moines coming in full broadside once more, because, I don't know. So anyway, what I was trying to say is, if that gearing just kept C, it would have solidified the enemy's, well, points gain. So I think the gearing should really have tried to cap C, the Des Moines should have tried to meet up with the gearing, and then should take it from there. But you know, now we can see the gearing, the friendlies are going to open fire here, but the gearing is still on pretty full health, and he isn't that close, so the gearing might escape here. There are most likely torps incoming from the gearing. And what the gearing needs to do is the gearing needs to torp someone, and that gearing needs to cap. Because right now the friendlies have the points advantage, it's only 4 minutes left. Even if he sinks the ship, he isn't going to flip that, so he needs the points gained from another capture point. And once again shows that the gearing would have needed to take C a long time ago. Now those torps were unfortunate, but Des Moines is still floating. Now at this point maybe the gearing can do something with his guns, even if a Des Moines is that low. And I mean the Des Moines doesn't even have heal left. But there is still a pretty healthy booster. And I mean, the longer the time continues, like, Gearing's only option by now is probably to kill both ships, because he has ignored the sea cap for way too long. So that Gearing is kind of forced to fight. And while our Des Moines here is just getting into some cover, because why wouldn't he? All the friendlies have to do is survive. And now that Gearing has realized that he needs to sink things and he's opened up with his guns on the low health Des Moines. And now the thing is that Gearing can't just smoke because he is lacking spotting. Now he got lucky here with a fire. Damage con is almost ready though. The Gearing hopes that the fire is enough. He's trying to disengage with a smoke here, but the damage con gets ready in time. Now, not to mention that sinking the Des Moines wouldn't have been enough anyway, but if he managed to sink the Des Moines with a fire, then he would have a little bit more time, points-wise, and then he could try to top the booster. But that didn't work. Now we have another radar incoming, and looks like the Gearing is too far away, or maybe not. So the booster caught the Gearing, we should see him momentarily. There is the Gearing, so can't I sink the Gearing? Well, or maybe they'll just reach 1,000 points before that happens anyway. And the Gearing can probably see them because of the smoke. Anyway, that was a win by points. And here we are with some results. So MushJr earned himself the Confederate, a Dreadnought, a Kraken and a High Caliber, scoring 293,000 points of damage and sinking 8 enemies. So I guess it's fair to assume that he really carried this one. And it was a joy to watch. I hope you enjoyed watching it too. And I'll see you guys next time.